Hey, what's up guys, this is Christian here with Home Review Central, and this is the Logitech Harmony Elite. Now, the Home is getting smarter, and while there are plenty of hubs out there aimed at tying all of your smart home devices together, like the Samsung SmartThings hub, few of them are as focused as the Harmony Elite. That's because instead of controlling your entire house, the Harmony Elite is built to control your entertainment system. That doesn't just mean your TV and speakers. The remote goes beyond acting as a universal remote to control things like your lights and blinds too, so you can set the entire mood at the touch of a button without having to mess with different apps, remotes, and so on. But how does the Logitech Harmony Elite perform? We put it to the test to find out. But before we do, let's take a look at what's in the box. Alrighty, so here we are with the Logitech Harmony Elite Hub. Let's open it up and see what we got. So first we gotta do get rid of these stickers. Now this hub, unlike other smart home hubs, is built more at your home entertainment system, kind of like a universal remote. Here's the remote itself. Looks great, looks really fancy. Looks well built, not too heavy. You know, it's definitely got some weight to it, but it's not overly heavy. This is the hub itself, which is cool. It kind of sits with your entertainment devices. Put that to the side. This is the charging cradle, the remote. Let's see how there we go. So that can kind of sit next to your TV and you just put that there nice and easily. It's charging, not charging. Here's the power supply for the hub and for the charging cradle. It looks like they both just use a standard micro USB connection, which makes things easy. And here's some more cables. Oh, these are infrared blasters. You can place them around the room so that when you hit the remote, you know, your TV and whatever sound devices and stuff can detect that. That's cool. And a micro USB charging cable. I guess the reason we need that is in case we don't want to use these. Cool, looks like that's everything, except for some probably instructions in here. Mincing that box. Yep, quick start instructions, guide to getting going, easy. That's everything. Let's take a look and see how it performs. The first thing you'll notice about the Logitech Harmony Elite is its design, and it's a great looking device. As you saw, there are two main components, the hub and the remote, both of which are pretty sleek. The hub, for example, will look right at home next to your TV, while the remote looks modern and classy in its charging dock without drawing too much attention to itself. Setting up the Harmony Elite is pretty easy, but you will want to set aside a few minutes to do it. You'll start by downloading the app, creating an account, and then connecting the hub to all the devices you want to control, including your TV, a speaker system if you have it, and even lights if you want to dim them when watching a TV. I connected our TV, soundbar, Google Nexus player, and a Philips Hue light bulb without any issues. The hub can connect to a pretty huge range of devices. Not only can it connect to standard TVs and infrared controlled equipment, but it can also connect through Wi-Fi to your smart home devices. Next up, you'll create a scene. For example, you could create a watch TV scene, which in our case turned on the TV and soundbar and set the TV to HDMI 1, which was the input for the Google Nexus player. I also set up a movie watching scene, which controlled the same devices, plus a Philips Hue light bulb I had set up. Last but not least, I added a smart plug connected to a heater, though that was purely for testing purposes. I don't necessarily always need the heater on when I watch a movie. In setting up those devices, we assign them to specific smart home buttons on the remote, which we found very handy as shortcuts. After setting up the devices and their state for the scene, you may want to program the remote, and it's not immediately clear that that's what you should do during the setup process. I suspect that's because Logitech is confident that it'll set the appropriate defaults, but that didn't happen for us. Instead of the arrow buttons controlling the TV, for example, I wanted them to control the Google Nexus player, which is where I personally watch from platforms like Netflix and YouTube. While setting up the remote did take a little time, it was generally pretty easy, despite the fact that it was a little hidden in the app. Once all is set up, the remote is a breeze to use. Sometimes I ran into bugs, but that was rare, and they generally went away pretty quickly. While you can use the app to control your devices through the hub, I didn't love the way it was set up to do so. It's clear that the whole system is built for the remote, and that wasn't really an issue for us. I prefer it that way, especially considering the fact that I don't live alone, so it made things easy for my girlfriend who didn't want to use the app. Apart from that, however, the app was generally pretty well set up. Adding new scenes, as we went over, was pretty easy, as was adding devices. I did find it a little difficult to add a new device to an already set up scene, and eventually ended up deleting the scene and recreating it with the new device. But the idea here is that once things are more or less set up, you won't have to worry about that kind of stuff. The interface of the remote itself isn't the best, but it does the job. In general, it's split into two screens, activities and devices, and you can use the quick buttons under the display to switch between those two screens. We liked the menu setup, but in general, programming the buttons made things easier, and we didn't interact with the display much more than turning on and off activities. Last but not least is battery life, and the remote will give you more or less 2 days of use. If you're good at remembering to put the remote in its dock when you're done with it, it shouldn't ever run out. And if you do forget, you'll be able to see the battery status in the top right hand corner of the display. So should you buy the Logitech Harmony Elite? We think so, especially if you're starting to build your smart home. Not only is the device versatile and powerful, but it's extremely easy to use. I test that with my girlfriend, who is decidedly not into smart home stuff, but actually found the Harmony Elite pretty useful, especially considering it did away with the previous situation of using 3 remotes for different devices. The Harmony Elite is a little pricey, coming in at $350 straight from Logitech, or a little over $250 at the moment on Amazon. But we think it's well worth it for those that want to control their home entertainment and smart home devices from their couch. Check out the description for a link to buy the Logitech Harmony Elite. Thanks so much for watching. Again, my name is Christian, here with Home Review Central, and we'll see you next time. See ya.